Hey guys, so as you know, or maybe you don't know, well, I'm sure you know by now, the Grammys were last night. The Grammys mean a lot to me because they are my Super Bowl. I love the Grammys because they represent excellence in music, and I have to be honest, most of the time, the Grammy committee gets it fucking wrong because most people who are voting, like I think a lot of people think that the Grammys are really just like a bunch of people in suits who just write it all out. I think like once you win a Grammy, you're a part of the committee, but like most artists are actually on the committee. Like I know people like Stevie Nicks are on there and whatnot, and it's like peers sometimes voting for peers, which doesn't seem awful, but yeah, I guess it depends, but there's a lot of times where the Grammys do they have a history of just getting it wrong, and I don't need to tell you that. But last night being the 59th annual Grammys, I have to watch. No matter how bad I think it's going to be, I have to watch. So, as a quick wrap up to tell you what overall the view of the Grammys experience was, you didn't miss much. The performances overall, pretty lame. I would probably say the same thing about last year's too, but honestly, but pretty, I think overall lame. I think that people, of course, gave their all, but I would say like the biggest mentions in terms of performances, like Bruno Mars killed it. He's just, I don't know why the rest of the world doesn't understand how great he is as an artist, but or as a performer. But he's incredible, and he not only performed for himself and killed it. He did the Prince tribute, and I was like holding my breath, just hoping they didn't pick Gaga or Madonna to do a Prince tribute because I'm tired of Gaga doing tributes because she ruins them for me. In my opinion, I thought the David Bowie tribute she did last year was a hot ass mess, and I was actually upset because I was like, this isn't good. This actually doesn't do any justice to David. But he redeemed himself too. But we'll get into that. Basically, the Grammys overall, I don't know why I just jumped to performances. I guess that's just like the habit for me. But the performances were good. Adele always sounds flawless, even when she messes up. And she messed up. She messed up during the tribute to George Michael, and she stopped and had them restart. And it wasn't like a dramatic diva moment. It was a genuine, I can't do this to him. This has to be done right. And it was sweet. And I think had it been anyone else, there probably would have been more grief. But I think because it's Adele and everyone knows just how an endearing of a personality she is and how genuinely honest she is, right or wrong or indifferent, she's just being herself. And I think she did a fantastic job. And the fact that she sang Fast Love from George Michael, which is like a dance R&B song, was so random to me because, you know, I was expecting like Jesus to a Child or Careless Whisper or from anyone. And truth be told, I thought Sam Smith was gonna do the tribute to George Michael from like Here to Eternity. Him or Adam Lambert, that was like it. And I was like, I don't know who's gonna do a tribute to him because he's got such a great voice. I didn't expect Adele to do it. But she smashed it, and it was gorgeous, and I love it. And if there is a version of her singing that I want to own it because I'm sure it sounds fantastic. And other notable performances, Katy Perry. I didn't expect to really want to see Katy Perry, but I watched, and I liked her performance. She was on a moving platform on the stage that was kind of like on a consistent incline, and she had to keep walking in like a square. But what was weird was that she started off kind of inside of a white picket fence, and then those picket fences broke apart, and there were people holding those parts of the fences and were dancing around, and the other side of the fences were mirrors. So she was making a statement. I think the statement was more along the lines of showing people what America really is. You know, that we think it's the white picket fences, but being the mirrors on the other side, I think the mirrors represent we are America. You see yourself, you're American. And I think that's what it was about. I do not know what she was singing. I knew I liked the sound of it, but I couldn't really make out what she was saying. Her outfit was kind of funny because my cousin kept saying her hair was incredible, and I was like, her hair looks dry, but the color looks cool. And her outfit, she was dressed like Ellen. She was wearing like a white suit and white sneakers, and she was dancing like Beetlejuice. So for me, I was like, she's got Cyndi Lauper hair, Beetlejuice dance moves, and Ellen outfit. Okay, somehow it works because it's Katy Perry and she knows how to put on a show. So good for her, but it really wasn't anything worth talking about. I think it could have been, I don't know, I think she did the best that she could. I just don't think most people got it. I think if people knew the song, it would have been a bigger deal. I don't think anybody put on a better show last night than Bruno Mars, because not only did he perform, I think the song was That's How I Like It, he performed also the Prince tribute. That was another thing that was on my mind ever since I was like, oh my gosh, Grammys are coming up. We're coming up on almost a year since Prince, which is still shocking. And who's going to, do a tribute to him? I thought Lenny Kravitz. I thought Janelle Monáe. I thought Sheila E. And I was so excited to see Time up there, and to see Morris Day and everybody just getting excited and dancing and doing like the little kick dance. And I thought that Bruno did a beautiful job, really. And it didn't look campy, because he was dressed like him with the guitar. It didn't look campy. It was Bruno's tribute to Prince, and it just looked perfect. Another performance that kind of got overlooked that I thought was awesome was the Maren Morris. I did not know who she was. I listened to country music, but I did not know who Maren Morris was, and I didn't know she was going to be performing with Alicia Keys. And can I just say, I was living for Alicia Keys' jumpsuit. Her jumpsuit that looked very Diana Ross, and with the hair like Diana Ross. It was everything about it was just, she looked gorgeous and awesome and very disco, but it worked. And I know everybody keeps talking about Beyonce, 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 and I love Beyonce, don't get me wrong. But the performance was much, and it was a little boring to me. And I'm all for deep messages, but it was just like more of Lemonade, which I think was the point. But it was beautiful to see the images that she created with the big silk screen up there with all the, her daughter running around her and her belly and just looking beautiful and like a golden goddess, like Oshun, ancient, I believe, Egyptian goddess. I'm not 100% sure, but she looked gorgeous and she sounded good. I didn't quite understand at first what song she was singing, but then I got it. But overall, whenever Beyonce kind of steps on the Grammy stage, it becomes less of a performance and more about Beyonce. It's like you can't, like when Madonna shows up, it's not about her performance. No one cares about the dance moves. No one cares about how she sounds. They just want to look at her. It's kind of like that. And I'm not hating on her for that, but that's just where she is now. Also, A Tribe Called Quest performance was definitely one of my faves. I loved it. I loved how everyone came across. I loved to see Anderson .Paak on stage with them. I loved the message that they were giving. And at first, I wasn't really paying attention, and I was like, who are those people in the background? And then all of a sudden, you just start to see more people walking through the crowd. I just thought they had a really, really, really powerful message. And I loved hearing Busta call our president Agent Orange, which was awesome. And I'm trying to go as fast as I can. I also like the Keith Urban Carrie Underwood performance, but that's because I am just a big Carrie Underwood fan, and I was kind of pulling for her to win, but she didn't win this year, but she wins usually every year, so that's okay. And I liked Chance the Rapper's performance. It was just very, very soul-lifting and exciting. And I was really just like, I found myself just being happy for him. And who else? I know I'm forgetting like a major performance, and it's like going to bother me later on. But that's what I can think of. Oh, I mean, other than Adele. Crap, I just thought Adele. Adele opened the show with Hello, and I actually was walking through the door as she was singing it. So I caught the middle end of it. And then I didn't know she was going to sing George Michael, and to sing Fast Love was like, I mean, that really just made it for me. So that honestly, like, I thought that was a beautiful tribute. And the video of him in the background just made me want to cry. So, because he looks so happy, and it's just sad that he's not here. And it's weird because David Bowie, Prince, and George Michael are gone, and it just doesn't feel right. Like, what planet am I on? Can I go back? Because it just doesn't feel right. So anyway, getting it from the performance aspect and talking about the people who won or didn't win. Record of the year, as we all know, went to Adele for Hello. And truth be told, I think Adele deserves every Grammy that she gets, because I just feel she knows her voice and she knows her limits so well, and she's just so fantastic that I'm just all for it. And I have to be honest, I am a diehard Riri fan. I love some Rihanna, and I'm so glad that Anti was nominated, because I feel it's the album that she deserved to make at this point, because it's the album she wanted to make. But I cannot stand that damn Work song. When I first heard it, I was like, this is horrible. And then, like, people were like, this sucks. And then all of a sudden, people were jamming it. And it was one of those earworm things where I was like, is everyone hypnotized? Like, we all agreed that this was terrible. And now everyone loves it? I'm confused. I mean, if you're, like, at the club already and it's on, I could see why you would dance. But, like, it doesn't need to be anywhere else in my daily life or routine. I can't stand the song. And side note, this was like the first Taylor Swift free Grammys in like how many years? And I don't want to be a complete hater on Taylor Swift, because I do think she is talented, but I just feel that she is completely overblown, in my opinion. I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan. I think sometimes when she speaks out, she doesn't realize how she sounds. And I think she's a little ignorant sometimes. But her music, just speaking musically, she doesn't do a whole lot for me. She's not as deep as I think that she thinks she is. I don't get it. I don't know. I thought maybe it was an age thing, but then I like people younger than her, and just me and her don't mix. So I was just glad that she was not there going, and doing weird handshakes again this year. So I was just glad. Sorry if I'm offending anybody. Actually, who cares? But record of the year going to Adele. Very well deserved. Album of the year went to Adele for 25. Gotta be honest, I thought, just like a lot of people, that Beyonce had that in the bag, because, not because it's Beyonce, but because it's not what we're used to from her. And it means more and it should mean more to people. Because I don't think there are a lot of people out there who haven't heard the album, who are just going, it's a Beyonce album and I don't want to hear it. Listen to it. Watch see the whole experience, and maybe you'll learn something and you'll feel something. Because I really did feel things when I heard it and when I watched it for the first time. So, it deserves. She really did stretch herself to do something different. Now, I'm not somebody who thinks that everything that Beyonce does is all that fantastic. I don't think that she's got as great of a voice as someone like Adele, but I think that she is the best performer next to Michael Jackson, and I say that completely with no reservation at all. Like, she really has earned where she is in this world. I believe that. I will be honest, though. I can't believe that, Justin Bieber was nominated for Purpose. For Album of the Year? But maybe because I didn't hear it. I'm being honest. I didn't hear it. Drake for Views, and Sturgill Simpson, A Sailor's Guide to Earth. Sturgill Simpson would have been, had he won, I think, since Beck, I think he fully produced, wrote, and arranged that entire album himself. Totally deserves something. He got a nomination, so dang, but that's amazing. Song of the year was definitely Hello. We hear it everywhere. I still hear it at work all the time. And I love that Best New Artist went to Chance the Rapper, but I gotta be honest, I was really pulling for Anderson .Paak. But I have no worries about Anderson, because I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's a flash in the pan. I think he is in for the long haul. I think he will be a legend someday. Like, I think Frank Ocean will be a legend someday. I think that he could be, I don't know, our next Isaac Hayes, in my opinion. He's a little bit of Sly and Family Stone to me, a little bit of George Clinton. There's just something about him that just, he's so, he just understands who he is and what he wants to say. And it's just, he's got an incredible vibe about himself that makes him way entertaining to watch. So I have no reservation that, even though this was his first Grammys, I think, that he'll be there for a while. He'll be coming back. It's not that I don't think Chance won't be. I think that, more importantly, Chance winning as many Grammys as he did and being independent, and not having a label is a very, very powerful thing for people in hip hop, for musicians in general, for young people to see that you can have all the success that the Beyoncés and the Jay-Z's and whatever have in this world and do it your way. So I'm super proud of him, because that means he gets to cherry pick where he wants to go and what he wants to do next. For best pop vocal album, obviously Adele, but I gotta be honest, she has some stiff competition in my eyes, because Ariana Grande, that Dangerous Woman album, I just recently listened to it. I got it in January. This is 2017. And I'm a huge Ariana Grande fan. There are times I don't like other things that she does, but musically, I like her. I feel like that album definitely stepped her up to the big girl leagues, and I had a bigger respect for what it was that she had to say, because I don't think she actually gets the opportunity to be eloquent sometimes. I think she just kind of goes, whatever. But I think that she's an incredible vocalist. But I know that she's a big studio rat. And if you listen to that album, you really can tell that she took her time choosing those tracks. Choosing Macy Gray on the song. Oh my God, the song just flew out of my head. Oh my God, the song with Macy Gray. Oh gosh, whatever it is, it's called. It just flew out of my head. It's incredible. It's incredible. Just listen to it. I mean, she's a huge Macy Gray fan, so I love it. And Sia, this is acting. Like, Sia vocally is like a beast. So Adele deserved it. I think any one of those ladies honestly deserved it, but those would have been my picks. And then we have Best Rock Performance went to David Bowie. I think David Bowie had got 3 Grammys for Black Star, and it's like literally kills me, because I'm just like, oh, he's not there to get it. You know, and I do sometimes wonder if he weren't gone, would he have gotten it? Because that album is beautiful. There's a fragility and a pain and a darkness about it that, it kind of taps into a side of you that you don't want to explore. But I suppose if you're someone that is dying and you know that you're dying, how do you not reflect that in your voice or in your lyrics? And David Bowie is just an incredible artist, and I've been listening to him since I was a little girl, so I've heard him through all his different periods, and even when he got as weird can get, this was no different, but something there was just so fragile and perfect, and I recommend that album to anyone who hasn't heard it. But I have to be honest, stiff competition as well. Alabama Shakes, Beyonce for Don't Hurt Yourself, 21 Pilots, the Heathens. My boyfriend was playing that song like crazy when Suicide Squad came out, and I learned to love it. And then Disturbed, which just seemed like a weird mix in there, because I don't know, I know who Disturbed is, but I don't listen to their music. But I just say, well done, David Bowie, on that one. And Best Rock Song, he got that as well. But I gotta be honest, I was secretly pulling for Highly Suspect song for My Name is Human, because I love that song. And Best Rock Album went to Cage the Elephant. Now, I have like 2 Cage the Elephant albums, and I don't listen to them anymore. I don't know if I can say I'm a fan of them. I bought them kind of like on a whim and I listened to them a couple times, and I listened to a couple songs here and there, but this album is called Tell Me I'm Pretty, and I haven't heard a single thing from it, so it could be absolutely fantastic, and I want to check it out. But I was I was openly pulling for Panic at the Disco, Death of a Bachelor, because first off, if you've been a Panic at the Disco fan for the last few years and you've seen the transitioning of the band, and now like 4 members, 3 members, 2 members, and now just Brandon, and it's like, this is where you were supposed to be all along, and now comes this avalanche of success, and on top of that, he's a sweetheart, and he's enormously talented, and so fun to look at, just to be honest. But that album, Death of a Bachelor, is so much fun to listen to, and my boyfriend and I are big Panic at the Disco fans, and I want to go see them live, and I was supposed to go see them live last summer, and I missed it, and they were performing with Weezer, who also was in this category, and they didn't win, which is okay. It's okay. Cage the Elephant won, and I'm assuming that they deserved it because they are a good band. I just haven't heard the album. And okay, so I'm going to have a quick surprise misses and surprise wins. Surprise misses, I'm surprised that Ariana Grande didn't perform, but I forgot that she's on tour right now, and I believe the week of my birthday, literally the day before and the day after my birthday, she's going to be in New York at Madison Square Garden, and like the day in between my actual birthday, she's doing nothing. But I would love to see her live. I was surprised that Panic at the Disco didn't win. I was surprised Anderson .Paak didn't win, or Rihanna didn't win for Anti for Best Urban Contemporary Album. But I'm not mad with who won. So I'm just saying Rihanna deserved, I think the nomination was enough for her, honestly. She's won Grammys for less, to be honest. But surprise wins for me, I gotta be honest, Willie Nelson. Because I like Willie. I love Willie Nelson. There's just something about his spirit. He just doesn't want to hurt anyone. He's just a sweet man. He sang Gershwin. And listen to the people who were in the same category as him. Andrea Bocelli, Bob Dylan, Josh Groban, and Barbra Streisand. Damn! Willie Nelson beat out all of them. You beat Barbara? Damn. That kind of like, I was reading the list because that wasn't one of the televised portion parts, but I remember seeing that and I was like, oh, Willie Nelson won a Grammy. And then I saw who else was nominated and I was like, he beat Bob Dylan, Barbra Streisand, Andrea Bocelli. Like, that's ridiculous. And in country, I'm always pulling for Carrie Underwood win any day. But Maren Morris won a Grammy and I have no clue who she is. But I learned last night, and she performed with Alicia Keys, and they both looked amazing, and she had some serious vocals going on, and I was about it. And I loved the fact that Solange won her first Grammy for Cranes in the Sky. I would have loved to have seen her be on stage and accept it, but the fact that she didn't is okay. And Best Alternative Album, I know I'm going like trying to go as fast as I can. I'm not editing. I can't edit. I don't know how to edit. So sorry. Best Alternative Album went to David Bowie. But again, the competition in that category was crazy because he had Bon Iver, PJ Harvey, who I love, Iggy Pop, and Radiohead. Like, I remember looking at that and I was like, oh my gosh. And he won. I don't understand how Black Star is both rock and alternative, or how David Bowie's in both. I don't know how they're in both categories, but whatever. And Best R&B Album went to Lila Hathaway. I was really happy for her because she won 2 Grammys last night, actually, and she beat BJ the Chicago Kid, Mint Condition, who have been making music forever, and Maya. Okay, so Maya was nominated, and I found that out when they released the list of nominees. Maya put out an album called Smooth, with a V, Smooth Jones. And I was like, I didn't even know Maya was still making music. No shade. I just didn't know. So I went on my phone, and I listened to it one morning while I made breakfast. I gotta be honest, there were a couple songs in there that I thought were really good, but there were also some songs where I was like, this is a little corny. Like, it's not that I haven't heard these kinds of lyrics again, but I was actually just proud of her and happy for her that she's still making music and she's doing what she loves and she's being creative and she's being honored. Like, that's awesome. So I'm glad she just got a nomination. And I was surprised. I think Fantasia was in the same category, or she was in another category with Layla Hathaway, but Layla Hathaway won that one as well. And every time I think Fantasia's been nominated, she's won something from one of her albums, and she's just phenomenal, and I love her. So that's it. That is it. That is my whole Grammy experience. I thought that it was I thought the appropriate people won, with the exception of the fact that I think Beyonce did deserve to win over Adele for album. Was it album of the year? But I thought that Adele's speech was more important for that moment. I think sometimes those things happen for a reason, and I think her having the guts to really speak what was on her heart about Beyonce, because she really is like a crazy fan for her, was beautiful. And then, I don't know if it's true, I heard that she broke it and gave her part of her Grammy, which I was like, Mean Girls moment. Like, let's share it. I think that that'll probably mean more to Beyonce than any Grammy or any award on her shelf, because that public statement of saying what Lemonade meant to her and her friends, you can't pay for that. Like, there's nothing better than that. I thought that was a really beautiful moment, and I think Adele just is classier than everyone at the same time that she's kind of like, don't give a F. Like, I love it. So overall, I gotta be honest, I enjoyed the Grammys. I usually do. I always find something to like. I wish the Prince tribute was a little bit longer, but I can understand why maybe it might be a little bit intimidating to be approached to maybe perform for him or about him, and some people go, "Well, I would love to, but a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure." But I'm sure there will be other Prince tributes in the future. But overall, I think that I would give it a grade. I would give it like a B plus. Yeah, I'd give it like a B plus. So I want to know what you guys think of the Grammys. What were your thoughts? What were your ideas? Was there anybody that was snubbed that you would have loved to have seen? Because, I mean, I could probably give you a list of 10 people that I wish were even considered. But that's a story for another day. But until then, have a good one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.